Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tunacheki, your weekly Africa podcast news show. I'm mikeymushi.
And I am Zelalem. Welcome.
So as we wait for people to join, thank you for joining us. And it's been a very interesting week because this is the first full week we've had, right, since the previous week, which we had so many. Yeah, so maybe you can tell us how things been on your side.
I can't complain really. All is well, all is well. But yeah, life, ups and downs. But all is well, and so many things to talk about. Unfortunately, some bad, not so good news. But also, we have at least one good news. So that's awesome.
And recently, like for you, recently you've been posting more videos than usual, right? Have you upped your upload?
Yes, me. Oh, you've noticed. Okay, that's good. Yes, I am going for 3 days a week, and it's quite a stretch for me since I've never done it, but we're gonna do it.
And the videos are doing quite well, and they're very entertaining and interesting.
Yes, I try, especially that YouTube, they tell us like the first 30 seconds, do your best. So I'm trying ways, I'm trying to think of, for people to be engaged, and it's a learning curve. You have to know what exactly your audience want. So until then, it's a roller coaster, but it's okay. Can't complain.
So everybody watching Tunacheki, if you're a Tunacheki supporter, please go out and check Wangel's channel. She gives you that personal touch when it comes to telling you about what's going on in Africa. For me, I give you the direct, this is what happened, right? To deal with it.
Yes.
But with Wangel, she'll try to ease you into the news, right? So
I
please,
try, but yeah, but sometimes it is so hard to, keep a straight face because you're so emotional or invested. So I'm trying so hard to be like you, but I don't know, it's hard.
But that's the authenticity, right? The authenticity, and you tell your news as an African. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that people have joined, let's get on to what happened in Africa this week. So Wangel, you'll start us off.
Well, I can start us off from, I don't know, do we start from positive, from positive, or not so positive, or downright I'm angry about this? Which one?
Let's start with the bang. Let's start with the most controversial story this
Oh week. My goodness. Okay, I don't know if I can call it most controversial, but on social media, people were pissed, and just looking at it from outside, you might think, why are people pissed? But then. Okay, let me just tell you why people are pissed, especially Africans. Do you remember by any chance this guys that went viral, Ghanaian pallbearers that were dancing with the coffin? Maybe if you have it, you can show them. They went viral from that dancing. It is fun, it's unique, it's interesting. It was definitely different for many of us, so they went viral. Now, good news for them is that they sold their NFT, that meme of them dancing, and they got $1 million.
Wow.
Good news, right? That's awesome. But here's the twist. They have just announced, they came out and they told the world proudly that they decided to give 25% of that income that they have gotten to Ukrainians.
Mm.
And 25% of 1 million means like $250,000 they are
Mm.
going to give away to Ukrainians. And to be honest, like, you donate to who you want, right? Like, I can't stop. You can donate to the charity that you really want to help. I myself, I donate to the things that move me, or like, touch my heart in a certain way, and I want to contribute, right? The thing is, not people were not angry because they were giving that $250,000. It is about where that is going, and their heart moved for those people that
Mm.
are mistreating their brothers and sisters, that are until now, refusing to respect us. We feel like very sad for what is happening in Ukraine. Obviously, we don't want to see war anywhere in the world, to be honest. But the fact that there are so many things happening on the continent, and they didn't feel it, that shows you that their heart, their prayers, like, was somewhere else, which was in Ukraine. And it's kind of depressing, to be honest. Good for them. As I said, we're not saying they shouldn't have, but do you think they've given the same amount, let's say another 25%, to a cause in Ghana or anywhere else in Africa? What are your thoughts on this?
So my thoughts on this are even like you can think it's planned, because I was planning to introduce a new segment to our our podcast show where we react to a certain thing that happened online, because we've been doing it just randomly, right? Where we show you guys what's, some we
Yeah.
share to the audience what is going on. So and this one I wanted you to react to it coldly, right? You've said your take on the Ghanaians, coffin dancers donating a quarter of what they earned to Ukraine, right? To support Ukraine against the Russia war. So I'll share something with the stream, and also in the comments below, I'd like you guys to give me your honest opinion and reaction about what like I'll show you guys. Okay, so okay, I found it. So let's share the screen. Bear with me. This is the first time. It's not planned. So I was thinking of doing it. Okay, so. Well, let me see. Okay, bear with me, guys. Let's see. Okay, let me share it. Then we can react. Okay.
If you cannot sleep because of Russia-Ukrainian conflict, there are some advices to calm you down. First, imagine that this is happening in Africa. Imagine this is happening in the Middle East. Imagine Ukraine is Palestine. Imagine Russia is the United States. If you cannot sleep because of Russia-Ukrainian conflict, there are some advices to calm you down. First, imagine that this is happening in Africa. Imagine this is happening in the Middle East. Imagine Ukraine is Palestine. Imagine Russia is the United States. If you cannot sleep because of Russia-Ukrainian conflict, there are some advices.
Okay, so that's my reply to that. So tell me what you think about what you said.
Oh my goodness, that was funny.
Also,
At first, I laughed. What?
for those of you who don't know, that's the Russian foreign minister or for Russia. You are talking about the Ukraine-Russia conflict.
Oh my God. For a second there, I laughed and I was like, wait a minute, is this like a serious story? I should have like a straight face. So I just tried to hold it. Yeah, that was so funny. And the fact that he said it with a straight face makes it even more hilarious. So yeah, like That is very true. Where are all those people that are speaking up now? Why aren't they speaking up against the US when they're doing the exact same thing and they didn't even do it once? They've been doing it for a while now. Like, is it because we have the two different standards for two different countries, or it's because we don't know better? We've been manipulated by the news that and the reporting that we have been watching. I think that's the case because wherever you go, like CNN, BBC, if you even the local news, if you open the news page or anything on social media, what you will see is Ukraine, 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 Ukraine. So in a way, I think that repetition makes our people believe that they have it worse than us. I think that's the mentality it's creating. But I thought that video was funny.
Yeah, so you're right. It's definitely the manipulation in the media, and I'm sure those guys did it because more so like peer pressure. It's like, oh, everybody is doing this, so that we also fall in line. We want to do this. So for my only other reasoning why they would have done it, maybe it was a Ukrainian who bought that NFT, and it was a condition in the contract.
I
Maybe
don't think so. If we believe, I saw an article, I think it was like a Dubai businessman or something that bought it. Maybe there's another connection, I don't know, but I think it's from Dubai. And peer pressure, Michael, you really think it's peer pressure? I feel like they really, in my opinion, I can be wrong, like they really felt that because of all the things they're seeing, and they're like, we have to do something. Like they thought they're saving. Like that's the vibe I got from them. You know?
Like even these days, no. Like for me, I might think it's the pressure because, like it might have been part of the contract. Like if we buy this for 1 million, you'd have to donate this to, because like even these days, if you go to many websites, right, they always have that checkbox for donate to Ukraine, right? They kind of, I don't say force you, but like even there was some that. Yeah,
highly
suggest. And there were some that were even like we were trying to buy some things online. There were some that they're refusing to uncheck for the donation, right? You get like I don't know. So for me, maybe it might have been like something in the contract. Okay, I want to buy this, but you must donate this to a charitable for the Ukraine conflict as publicity, right? So there's publicity everywhere. Like this African meme. Trying to make the Ukraine-Russia conflict international conflict. So these Ghanaians are also wanting to help Ukraine. You know, it's good media, and it was also as in instead of the meme and song to trend, the Ukraine part was trending, right?
Yeah.
Meaning they were just using them to try to bolster the Ukraine conflict in the middle. So also for me, I think, because this world is not that simple. And I'm an African man. Nobody can give me $1 million, and the first thing I go like Ukraine, right?
That part.
Yeah. So for me, that's the thing that does not make sense, because they look like African men, right? Especially most of those people are older than me, right?
Yeah, and they don't look like they have a lot of money. Like, I think they live. That's what they look like, paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, that's the vibe I get.
And we all love our African parents, right? And we know African parents are money. So can you imagine that kid? And then no. So for me, I think it must have been something in the contract. Like we'll research about it. I'm hoping it's that. I'm hoping it was a condition for the sale to happen. For me, that's the only thing that would make sense. Because the other one, it's totally insanity. I think.
Yeah, you could be right, because it was so hard for me to understand how that can be possible. So hard for me. At least like 10%, like 25% was a lot of money.
Yeah, and also the thing that's fishy is that they had to announce it. You can help many people in this world. You don't have to make it a publicity, right? So now that's the fishy thing, right? They could have even donated 50% of that money to Ukraine, but not announce it. But it will help them. But doing it, they've just technically been used for media. So it's more like an expensive advertisement the person who bought did for Ukraine, I think.
You have a point. You have a good point. I did not think about that at all. I just was So I was confused that they were willing to give $1 million. For most of us, it's a lot of money, not just people from Africa. Like, let's be serious, 1 million is a lot of money.
I,
And
I promise, even if you give Elon Musk $1 million, he'll not give. He'll not give. That's why. That's
yeah,
why the billionaires. That's why the
yeah,
billionaires, because they take more than they give, right? That's how.
yeah,
That's why
that's
they're
true. That's,
billionaires.
that's
So,
true.
so I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think.
true. So I was, yeah, yeah. You,
Okay,
you
so
might be onto something. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So let's see. Let's do some investigation and see actually what happened, like in the
We
in
shall,
the in the in the in the background.
we shall see.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody in the comments also tell us your thoughts. Your like what you think happened. Is it like was it part of the
Mm.
contract that if this guy purchased it, they had to give some of it to Ukraine, or did those guys just the most philanthropic, philan- okay, cancel that word. They're the most generous people to Ukrainians, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Uh, hi, Kevin Good. Kevin Good is like a very old school support of Tunacheki. It's good to see
Oh,
your. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the second story. Yeah.
okay.
See, that one is a very good story to start us off with, right?
Okay.
So mine, I'll also go a bit on the sad part. So this week, Kenyan farmers in the hills, I think it was Nyanyuki, they found an old like not World War II, a colonial era motorbomb, right? So they were just digging, they dug it up, and they had to call the DCI, like our police, to go and investigate and send a bomb squad to safely remove it, because those things are dangerous, right? So if the farmer, instead of digging around it, the farmer would have just dug it, that would have been the end of
Mm.
that farmer, right? Luckily, in Kenya, we don't have that much of a problem, but in other countries that have seen conflict, there's so many children, especially children, who get hurt by this. Forgotten mines, forgotten bombs that didn't go off, right? So the thing that irritated me about this story, it's how it was portrayed in the media, both local and international. It was portrayed like, oh, Kenyan farmers find bomb, think it's a yam, or think it's part of the produce, right? Like they're trying to underscore the main importance of why that bomb was buried there for centuries. They're trying to underscore that it's the British colonialists who came here, used those bombs to kill our grandfathers, our freedom fighters. They use that bomb to steal from us, to exploit us, right? And then now it's being reported as in, oh, fun, oh, farmers find bomb and it's a yam, and oh wait, they're trying to eat the produce, right? So this is something serious that the Kenyan government should actually sue the British government to come and clean up all the mess they've left, right? And also pay damages for all the injuries caused, and not just in Kenya, in all the countries that are being like a good example. You've heard there's a small country in Asia called Southeast Asia called Laos, right?
No.
So Laos is known as the most boom country in the world,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? During the Vietnam War, America dropped like millions of bombs. Even till now, most of Laos is dangerous just for normal people to walk, farm, and stuff, right? So all these countries should pay up, come do the cleanup, right? And then also pay reparation for all the damages, all the injuries those bombs might have caused, right? Because technically, I think it's an international war crime, leaving unexploded bombs in like other countries that you had no reason to be there in the first place. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that and how it was reported?
Yeah, especially on how it was reported. Like, that's a freaking farmer. He
Mm.
knows what a yam looks like. Like, there's no way he's going to think, ooh, fruit. So the fact that they're even even in their mess, they're painting us as this, you know, dumb dumb people where we can't differentiate, fruit from a bomb. It's an insult on its own. And this is why I believe, telling our stories is really important. Look at you now, talking about this and clarifying on how, the reporting would have just, like, let me tell you something. Most people right now only read headlines. Most people, or like the Twitter, that feed that it just brings you one page and you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. You don't even click on it to go in depth and really understand what is being said in that article. So most people, I'm willing to bet, are just scrolling and seeing that and they're like, haha, and they leave it alone. They don't even investigate as to why the bomb was there, who put it there, or who's gonna pay for anything that will happen if that bomb would have went off. So they do it, by the way, this is by design. They do that on purpose so that we focus on something that's not important and leave the part where it will it will mess with their narrative. So for me, it's more about the reporting, but you're so right. Like there needs, like, they need to assign someone to come here. Don't they have British troops around the same area? That are training and stuff.
Yeah.
So why don't they?
Yeah, like I think for me, I'd like the Kenyans to take care of it, right? Because we've waited
but
for
with
so long.
their funding.
Yeah, definitely. Like, not even funding; it should be a fine. Funding means you want to help. A fine means you have.
Oh yeah, you have to, because that's your fault. That's something you should do. Yeah. I agree with you, and you are so right. This is just it's usual, but I think as much as it gets tiring, you should always tackle their narrative and always speak up, because this is nonsense, and I'm sure the farmer knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, definitely. Like he like, it's like me. I find a computer, then I'm like, oh, mine finds paper, right? I deal with computers every day. I know what it looks like. He deals with vegetable. He knows what I am looks like, right?
Exactly.
So now let's go a bit positive. We've just gone negative. Okay, so now it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay, if it's my turn, which positive? I have, for my ladies, if there are ladies watching, Rihanna is launching her Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin in Africa. She announced that she is going to be launching it on May 27th in South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Namibia, Botswana, Ghana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So this is, I love this, by the way. I know some people will be like, she's a billionaire. What like, why do you care about supporting her business? Like, I've been supporting other businesses, big international corporations that don't even care for us, that were not even catering to our skin tone for the longest time. So when Rihanna comes to Africa, you better believe that I'm going to support her, So I'm very excited that she made that announcement, and I'm pretty sure Africans will support her, and we are going to buy her product. Plus, she has good stuff, by the way. She does. So that's, I thought that was incredible, because it's not just about supporting her, but the fact that a diaspora, she is a diaspora, thinking, like, for her, she's like, I want to expand to Africa, and then that on its own, I feel like, creates a bond between us, that market, that money flow from her to us. I know big corporation probably is behind her and all that, but still, it doesn't change the fact that she made it there, and she is the first one to give us lots of shades of foundation. So I mean, we appreciate that.
Yeah. And we talked about this on our last podcast, where how African Americans or African people in the diaspora can help or invest in Africa without actually coming here and living here. So that's one way, right? Like Rihanna will create jobs, will create opportunity, will open up markets, will encourage young Africans to also enter the makeup industry, right? So she's giving back to the continent, not in the cliche way, oh, go back to Africa. No, there's so many ways of how you can give back and help improve the African economy. So also another thing on this, like Rihanna is, I think, Fenty was the only makeup product. Now many have copied to cater to people who look like us, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So these days, all of them are like, oh yeah. But Rihanna just went like, hey, this Western companies really don't care about women who look like me. So I've got the resources, I've got the fame, I've got the ability to make things for my people. So she did that. She became a billionaire because of it, and she's now giving back because it's her people who made her famous, right? Who made her
Yes.
who buy a product. So she's giving
Yeah.
back. So is
And this,
definitely.
I agree. And this shows you how God has a way of giving you back what you put out there. For her, it was a noble cause. All of us, want to make it in life. Like, she's a billionaire, good for her. But you see, her cause was, she had a purpose. She was like, I see this gap. I want my people to find the shade that they deserve. Because if you've noticed before her, it's so hard to find your own color. You will look like a whiteboard, because you're not putting on a color that matches your skin tone, and that ends up looking bad on you. I mean, if men probably won't understand what I'm talking about, but like, girls will understand how much of an impact one shade makes, like a difference from one shade to the other. So for her to want to cater to her people, it paid off. Like, she is successful because of that, and I'm glad that she didn't forget that, and she still wants to grow her brand in Africa. That's beautiful. And don't forget, it's not just her giving back to the community. She's gonna get a lot of money. There is untapped, right? Like, in Africa, there are so many things that we haven't still access. So when we get a Fenty, we're definitely going to go to her, even if it's saving after 3 months. You're gonna go and get what you need to get. So for her, it's not. I feel like it's a win-win. It's not just her giving back, but she's definitely going to get a lot, including money, from this.
So let's go to the comments. So TSP Cocktail is saying that Rihanna is not the billionaire, and it's actually the French cosmetic company who's a billionaire. So let's solve this quickly. So Alexa, volume 6. Alexa, what is Rihanna's net worth?
Rihanna is worth an estimated $1,700,000,000 US dollars. Her annual base salary is $70 million US dollars.
I hope everybody had that. So go take it out with Alexa, not us. Okay, TS Cocktail. But thank you
Yes.
for your comment. We appreciate all comments. Right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So let's go to our next topic. So now also a more positive thing. So Kenya this week also launched electric buses. Like, you're based in Nairobi, so maybe you can tell us if you've seen these electric buses drive by, or you've used them.
I haven't. Have you?
No. They've started in Nairobi, and they're the new city hoppers, I think. They're the electric, zero carbon, good for our skyline. So the good thing about living in Africa, in most African cities, is that they are not as polluted as places like New York, Los Angeles, Beijing. As in, we can actually see our sunsets, sunrise. We can actually, like, our smog levels are usually very low. Our air quality is usually above majority of these Western countries. So us, we are lucky, and I like it that we are trying to keep that same level of air purity and beauty. So it's a good step.
Yeah, definitely. But did you talk to anybody that have used them?
No. Like I think they're doing it as a limited run.
Okay.
Yeah, they bought few, like maybe 14, and we all know, yeah, Nairobi is a huge huge capital. But I'd prefer that way more than a diesel bus or a petrol bus, right?
Okay. So I have another good one, and even this one is from a famous person that I was gonna say we all know and love, but I know him, but I'm not into boxing. Are you into boxing, by the way, Michael? Do you like boxing,
Yeah,
the sport?
yeah. I
You
try,
do.
like my specialty is that I try to be into everything. At least know a
Or is
bit
it
of
like you force yourself? You force yourself to
what?
like everything? Do you force
Yeah.
yourself? Because you said,
Not force, but
okay,
I just read anything and try to know anything that comes my way. So,
okay.
like,
That's good.
so
That's good. Yeah. So the next report is about Floyd Mayweather. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure everyone knows him, even the people
yeah,
that won't, follow his boxing games. And he's a big deal, And he was visiting. I don't know if he's left. He was visiting Africa, and he actually said that he is planning on opening to building a boxing academy in Africa, and he said he would like to bring out the talent from the youth and actually take it out internationally and help out in that regard and give back to the continent that way. And I thought it was really, really wonderful, even though, as I said, I'm not a fan of boxing. It's a bit too violent for me, but I get the appeal. I know a lot of people like it. I know, especially if you're the boxer and you're good at it, you're going to get opportunities, you're going to get money, you're going to get to change your family's lives and your life. So I appreciate that because of that. And it's a sport, right? So I'm just so happy that he has promised to do that. And he said, don't worry about the trainers, because I'm going to make sure that I am going to bring the best. And I know for a fact Africa has really good talent, because the people that are making it out there right now in the boxing realm, there are Africans that got a chance and they're really good at their craft. So he's like, I want to tap into that, and I want to connect in that way. And I thought it's good because I know it's going to bring opportunities, and they're going to learn from the best. And if that's going to change their lives the same way our other athletes, like our runners and rugby players, are getting a chance to change their lives, I'm all for it. I'm happy about it, and I think he's doing well. And again, this is going to bridge the gap between the diaspora community and the African community. What are your thoughts on that?
so Floyd Mayweather is, I think people always argue he's the pound for pound greatest boxer who ever existed. He's never lost a match. He's super successful, super rich. And it's a good thing he's giving back, especially, and this has been a trend for fighters, especially African fighters, like the UFC heavyweight champion. It's called Francis Ngannou. He's from Cameroon, right? He's also building a gym back there. Israel Adesanya is from
Yeah.
Nigeria. Mara Usman is from Nigeria. They're all taking that knowledge of combat sports.
Yeah.
So there's even a comment here. Like I always like interacting with the comments. So it's called Reddit. He's saying we don't need
it's an Ethiopian name. Yeah.
we don't need a boxing company, build something technological or economical projects. It's so stupid. So this is about it. Like everything works with balance, right? You can't just have scientists, right? And also one thing people always get wrong. These things like boxing, martial arts, karate, kung fu. Like most people always think them as foreign, but all of those things originated in Africa, right? It's them who copied us and gave them names. Yeah. Most of this, like
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like all of these fighting techniques, they were all copied from like African fighters, African warriors, and it went out. Then they took them, they made it theirs, right? So when an African is like learning boxing, it's more of like a cultural experience. Fighting is more of a cultural. Like when I mean fighting as an art, not fighting as violence, right?
Yeah, as an art. Yeah.
Like fighting as a sport, right? So it's more a cultural celebration more than just a quick money making thing. So Africans are great fighters. We've always been great warriors. It's good to show the world what they're dealing with. That's why majority of world champions, majority of acclaimed sports stars who hold records are Africans, because it's good to show excellence everywhere, right? As I said, I think the smartest, like the person with the highest IQ is a Nigerian girl, right? Like on the planet ever, right? Is this Nigerian girl? Yeah, so Africans, we excel in all areas, right? So it's not good just to say we stick to science, we stick to technology. No, no, no. It's good to be good at everything evenly. That's how you grow a society to be a powerful society. Because if it's just science, we'll be lacking in things like culture, things like creativity. If it's just creativity, we'll be lacking in things like science. If it's just boringness, yeah. So like we need to be evened out. So it's important that we are investing in boxing. It's important we're investing in MMA, in the UFC.
And I agree with you, Michael. And for Reddit, my comment on that would be, I get your point. We need to invest in those areas as well because they're really important. But don't forget, in a society, there are people that will excel in the science, but there are people that will excel with writing. Like we can't say, oh, if you're a writer, you're not that important. No, because those writers are informing your kids. They're children authors. They are authors for, let's even say, novel. They're writing history for you to read. Not all of us are good in that craft, right? Everybody has their own talent. So that author has his or her place in society. Same with athletes. That's gonna help. That's their purpose in life. All of us have different purpose. And if it's boxing, as Michael said, if it's as an art, we're not saying like violence. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about as a sport. If it's going to bring exposure to that country, if it's going to bring exposure to that talent and money back into the economy, and also don't forget it helps with, why do we celebrate athletes like our runners, Ethiopians, for example, because I believe the comment was from Ethiopia. Like, it's because they let our country be known to the world, and that's a huge thing. That's a good thing, because people will say Haile Gebrselassie. I know for some people he's just a runner. No, but he's a national hero because he was able to bring our name out there in a good light. So I believe all of us have different purpose in life, whether you're an athlete, author, scientist, physician, a teacher, and there's a place for us. And I believe even sports, like, I think that's the one thing we neglect, and that hurts us a lot, because this people tapped into that because they don't even have their own. As you mentioned, majority of the winners are like from African descent, right? What does that mean? They're being called American because they were born there, or like they were taken there, or they changed their nationality because of that, but like they're from Africa. So that benefit, whatever that man could have achieved, now goes to that country. And I believe we need it as much as that country.
Yes, definitely. So now we should have more African. And today we have a theme of African Americans or people with African descent bringing back something to the continent, right? So that's like always a positive. And you don't have to be a billionaire or a millionaire or super successful to do that. I think you can start with anything you have, right? Just see what's going on in Africa, see the scene, try to connect with people, try to network, right? Just don't stick to your bubble and get knowledge from the news or from people in, let's say, in the West. No. Meet Africans online. These days, with the internet, the world is open. There are no more borders, right? These artificial borders. So like you can start from now. Like, always encourage people in the diaspora to reach out to Africans, and we continue networking.
Yeah.
So in other news, so the assassins of Thomas Sankara, right? His best friend Blaise Compaoré. Oh, sorry, allegedly best friend or betrayer Blaise Compaoré, and his like accomplices. They've been fined. I think for let me see, how much was it? Like, I think $18 million, right? To pay off to the family of Sankara and anybody else who got hurt or affected by what they did. So, like, what do you think of that? That they're trying to get justice for Thomas Sankara.
That's wonderful. This will open for me. This is going to be, that one thing that happens that will help the others to like a ripple effect. So when this happens, there are so many leaders that were betrayed, right? After and before Thomas Sankara. And it's going to show those people that you are going to pay a price. Your mommy and daddy, like let's say America or whoever paid you, they're not gonna be here to protect you, or they'll just throw you away once they've used you. So it's a good thing. It's a good start. I don't think it should end by them paying the money. They should also serve time, which I'm pretty sure they will, because like the sentence was like life sentence, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna go to prison and spend time there, and live the rest of their lives there, and they don't need to see the outside world, because they definitely didn't care about their country when they were assassinating that man that wanted to change the circumstances and situation of his country. So they really deserve to face the justice system. Like I was gonna say something, but no, I am not going to say that. But I am with this. I agree. And do you think though they have that kind of money to pay the fee?
So even in the comment for when we did the news, people were like, it will be peanuts for them because the amount of money they received from the CIA to betray their president, right? So and then this one also comes to like my question is like Blaise Compaoré and the people who betrayed Thomas Sankara and assassinated him. Thomas Sankara, he was the like one of the best presidents Africa ever had, best leaders Africa ever had is from Burkina Faso. So do you think them, them they were just accomplices or paid to, they're like the hitman, but people are asking, should France, who allegedly called out the hit, also face justice? Should countries like the US, who are part of assassinating Patrice Lumumba, right, or countries like Belgium, right, all these countries that interfered with these African leaders and used greedy, inexperienced, and uneducated, just some plain right bad African leaders to betray and kill off their fellow brothers just for a little bit of money, a little bit of power, and in the long run, allowing these Western countries to fully take over Africa, new colonize Africa. So do you think the main villain, right? The boss. I call them the bosses. Should you think we should also, like Burkina Faso and other African countries, should also now start looking for those people? Because Rwanda had already.
Absolutely, they should.
Yeah. So
I don't know how easy that's gonna be, but I think we should try.
Now it's your turn.
Oh, okay. So this is the last one actually. And I'm just noticing most of the reports I brought to you today are just good news. So I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that. Sometimes it's good to keep the balance. So my last topic is about an honest Ghanaian taxi driver that gave back $1,100 that he has found at the back of the car. And I don't know if you have the video. If you don't, I can just explain it to them. It was a lady that has like a fish shop that forgot that money in his car and left. And this guy tracked her down the next day and gave it to her. And the video clip really genuinely made me cry. The lady is just holding him and crying and thanking him and blessing him, because she said she couldn't sleep the night before. She really was worried, because I think that's like everything she made maybe like in a month or something. But she was so happy to the point where she was crying and hugging him and holding him. And you can see in the clip, the guy is just like so confused, like, why is she like invading just hugging him and crying. And that young man didn't have much. I'm pretty sure for him it was not an easy decision, because at the end of the day, when you don't have anything to eat for today, it's so hard for you to keep your ethics and to keep up with the principles that you've set for yourself. But he returned it. He said he went to church, he prayed about it, and he said um, his belief in God, he just couldn't, his words, his Christianity stopped him from doing that. So he returned it. But the good news is, people from all over Ghana started sending him money, rewarding him. There was this guy that gave him $2,200, which is
Wow.
double what he's returned. A famous football star said, I want to meet up with you, let's schedule. Another person gave him like $600. Like, he's getting money from everywhere. And I just love to hear this kind of stories, because it just restores my faith in humanity. When you have our job and you're constantly seeing the news, bad news left and right, you tend to feel like, is everybody like this? Like, there's something, it takes away something from you. And when you see good news like this, and this young man doing this, returning, even though he didn't have a lot, saying it is okay, like, I'll find another way to get the money honestly, and I'll return this money. And the fact that that money meant the world to that old lady is just, it's wonderful to see. And he got it back. God gave him back. Now he has even more than what he would have taken from that lady if he decided to steal that money from the lady. But I'm so happy to report this. We have some good young men and women on the continent. What are your thoughts about this?
Definitely. And for me, I think for him, somebody, like, it was even an easy thing, because like there are some people where it's out of the character to do something like steal, right? Naturally, nobody is born a thief. Nobody wants to steal from other like other people, or exploit other people. It's something you're taught, right? So like a good example is capitalism, right? Like, when I say capitalism is the source of all these things like fraud, theft, violent crimes, robbery with violence, because you're born into a system where, for you to get something, you must take away from somebody, right? Like, that's the basic definition of capitalism, right? For you to be ahead in life, you must step on people. That's capitalism, how it works. For you to have money in this world, you must exploit some people, right? That's the definition of capitalism. So, and things like capitalism are very un-African. Our forefathers didn't grow up in that capitalistic mentality where, hey, I've got these crops. Let me try to go to my neighbor and sell it. Like, I keep the good ones and sell to him the rotten ones. No. Like Africans, like, our culture was genuine. You have these crops, you take your best because you're proud of what you've done. You take your best to go and trade to somebody, and that somebody gives you the best. But capitalism is actually the opposite, where you take your worst but try to get the most from the other person, right? Basically, that's how almost every business these days works, right? You try to make your products the most cheapest, so you maximize profits. You try to sell it the most expensive, so you still maximize those profits, right? So living in a society like that makes you a product of that society, right? So that's why, you see in areas that have poverty, of course, they've got high crime rates, right? And I'm not giving an excuse to people who steal or hurt other people for to get money, but everything has a reason. These people just not wake up, you know what, I'm going to be a thief, get a knife, go out, stab people and take their money, right? It's the product of a society that does not allow them to live their genuine life, right? They're forced to do that to survive. So I'm sure that Ghanaian, in his instinct, natural instinct, he was like, hey, this woman works hard for her money, I should return it to her. And as a reward, as I said, like, Africans are always giving, genuinely giving. They return back more than even he gave back. So for me, I always think that's like one of the major problems when it comes to the current systems that Africans are forced on. First of all, it's this democracy. Second is this capitalism, right? If Africans will just come up with their own versions of governance, their own versions of like economic and building the society, I think we will be way better off than using things that were forced upon us, right? Because no African country chose like capitalism, right? Like it was forced upon us. So yeah, that's my take on that. Naturally, he would give that money. Like I would be surprised if he had taken that money, right? Yeah, maybe I'm a bit naive and hopeful, but I always try to think Africans are like the most genuine people like you can find. Yeah.
No, of course, and this is not the first story, by the way. Last year, I think I did one. I forgot the country. This young man returned.
I think I
I'm trying
remember.
to.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah, a
like
lot of money. This is nothing. That was like 50,000 or something.
yeah,
A lot of
definitely.
money, and that guy was even aboda. What is that? Na boda tuk tuk. Like what is it called? Those
Yeah,
tuk
tuk-tuk,
tuk.
yeah.
So I don't know if other people would understand what it like a three-wheeled
Yeah,
vehicle.
tuk-tuk.
So he was even, less fortunate than this guy because this guy at least is driving a taxi, right? So he returned that money, and that guy even got invited to the state house, and he was awarded, I forgot how much, I think about 5,000. People were celebrating him, but the unfortunate and sad thing is he also said some people were really mad at him and they told him, you are foolish. That's what he said though, Michael. He
Uh,
said that you are foolish, you would never get this kind of money, why would you just give it back? But he proved them wrong because people started just rewarding him and giving him, and he got opportunity. Even there's someone bought him a brand new car for him to be a taxi driver or something like that. So as much as some people might think it's foolish to return money that you have found and you know who the owner is, the reality is when you give it back, one, something money can never give you, a peace of mind. You can sleep better at night. Two, there's always a way. God always gives you back. And for those of you that believe in something else, the universe gives it back. Like whatever you put out there is gonna come back. And there are proof of that. And there are so many examples that we can give that will make you believe in humanity again.
so Kemet Gaming is saying Africans need to be socialist, in my opinion, in his opinion. So for me, in my opinion, I don't think Africans need to be socialist. I don't think Africans need to be capitalist, right? I think Africans need to have our own original thing. Maybe we call it villagism. Like we need. I don't know, just like we need to create our own system that caters to who we are, right? Not just copy systems from other countries
What
and try
works
to
for other people. I get it, but I'm also for free market. Well, let me say this. We're all allowed to change our minds, right? We're all allowed to, like tomorrow, if I read something that makes more sense to me, I'll be like, Michael, remember what I said yesterday? I think I changed my mind. And it's okay. It's part of growth. And for me, at the moment where I am at right now is like, I believe in free market because, we've also seen so many countries that socialism didn't really work as well. Like, let's be fair, right? Like we want, for me, my ideal is to bring up capable human beings. And sometimes socialism can cripple that because we're telling them it's okay, all of us the same. Like I want us to be able to know if we work hard, we're going to be paid for it. If we work hard, the reward is going to come to us. And sometimes when governments are controlling it too much, or when other countries like where they're practicing socialism or they've practiced, you see it not working as much as you would want it to work. So maybe there's like a hybrid of free market where all of us can thrive and like work hard and there's still a reward, but also there's a way we can give back, like countries like Sweden. Like even though the government taxes them a lot of money, they also make sure there's quality public hospitals or education or like transportation, and they do get what they pay for, right? You know what I mean? So I don't have all the answers right now, and I can't say this is perfect, but what I know is for each and every country or continent, things work differently because all of us are created differently. Our culture is different. So that's definitely something us, the youth, need to discuss and talk about more and figure out what will work best for us so that going forward we can, push or pressure our governments to follow that path.
So for me, like I always think, like free market is one of those words that are oxymorons. You know, they mean the opposite of what they're supposed to mean. Like they maybe the United Nations, right? There's nothing united about the United Nations or the Commonwealth.
I get
right?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there's
get
nothing.
it.
So when they say the free market, the system is supposed to work like that, but nobody, like in the world we live in, right? Things like big companies like Amazon or Apple, right? It's impossible for one person to compete against like monsters like that, right? So then, like in the concept of free market, you, right, as an individual, are treated and are expected to perform as well and equal as an Amazon or as well as Apple. That's the free market. Everybody.
But Michael, how did Amazon start? Jeff Bezos was one person. I get he borrowed from his family. His parents actually gave him their life savings, and he went ahead and all that. But even him, he was one person, and he built this huge, humongous, company. And now he was the richest. Now he's second, right? So I'm not saying it's perfect. That's why I said maybe we should come up with something that's like a hybrid. And also you said free market can be used as like the name could be something and then it can be, manipulated. I get that part, but let's say we use the actual word for what it is, what it means. Right. So because Michael, for me, for now, I can change. As I said, I'm allowed to change my mind tomorrow. Michael, if you worked really hard and you are where you are and you buy your house and you buy your car and you do all that, and then I come tomorrow and I'm like, wait a minute, Michael's really rich. Like, I want him to pay more. Like, for me, it's like Michael deserves it. Michael worked hard. I want to instill the younger generation when they're growing up. I want them to grow up thinking, one, if they work hard, they're going to be rewarded. Two, they don't have to be jealous of Michael or try to tear him down or take more from him, because they're like, everything works perfectly, so I can even achieve. I want them to be inspired by Michael. Like, I know maybe I'm reaching for a perfect world, but I'm just saying I'm not in that bandwagon of like, I hate rich people should, no, like, especially if they worked hard to get it, I want the same kind of opportunities to be given to my kids so that they can compete and become something in the future.
So now for a free market to work, you gave an example of Jeff Bezos, right? You'd assume Jeff Bezos lives in a free country or in a free society. No, he doesn't. He lives in a very highly racist, highly segregated society, right? So let's say Jeff Bezos and some random African American, right? As you said, they both work the same, like they both have the same ideas, they both have the same like drive, they both make a business. Jeff Bezos will be successful because he's white. He grew up in he's in a white collar environment. Like, African Americans cannot get loans from banks, right? Like it's a fact, right? So for a free market to be like a free market, it means it must be predecessed by everybody being equal and free. But we don't live in a free and equal world.
That's why we say equality and equity. There's a difference. I get that.
So the ladder for the free world is like this, right? So Jeff Bezos started his, where's my camera? Jeff Bezos started his career and ideas here. Somebody in maybe Rwanda, Kigali, is here, right? So then the market is like Jeff Bezos in 1997 and this guy in 2002 are equal. No. Because that person, even if he works 24/7, as in they call it like glass ceilings, right? He can never break the barrier because of who he is, where he is born in, like in the world, or how society perceives him, right? So and I'm not saying like there are no African American or billionaires or African billionaires. They are, but all I know is that they had to do way more to get there than somebody like a Jeff Bezos or an Elon Musk or a Bill Gates or a Mark Zuckerberg, right? They had
That's
to
true.
do way more. Yeah. So
That is very.
yeah. So and then like the idea of also like socialism, and this is something the media always do, right? They always give bad examples of like countries that use socialism, like which one, like Venezuela, like countries that fail. But countries like Denmark, Finland, Norway, like all Nordic countries are in a socialist system, right?
Yes, but what are they? But what are they doing though? They're still not saying that they should not. There is still, like, if you want to create something, you still can in those places. The government doesn't take full ownership.
But see, like even socialist is like the way I was saying last time about anarchism. Something people take a certain concept, then they manipulate it to bring out their points. Like so, it's the West that corrupted socialism to mean that it's the government that's controlling, taking all your money to scare people. But socialism just means that there's equal distributions of basic needs, right? So in countries like Denmark, you'd always have free healthcare for everybody, the billionaire and the person making zero, right? You'll always have free education for everybody, right? But you see, the socialism that America tried to scare the people is that the one that happened in communist Russia, where the government is taking that money and just rewarding its friends, the oligarchs, right? So that's the socialism people like the US and the West want people to see. They don't see the socialism in Denmark, in Finland, in Sweden, where people don't know this, but Norway makes billions and billions of dollars in oil revenue, right? Norway produces so much oil, like it has so much oil that it gives its like I think everybody in Norway has a basic salary. Even if you have a fancy job, even if you're like you're a student, like the government, because of all the money it's making from their oil, they're selling, right? They give it back to the people if you need it or not. If you don't need it, you can give it back, because they know if let's say there's a billionaire in Norway, he'll just not collect his check because he knows it will increase to the people who are like low, right? That's why there's so many like Africans who always try to go there, because they know once they're in the system, they'll be okay, education-wise, health-wise, right? But if you go to a country like the UK, if you're African, or if you go to a country like France, if you're African, you know it's like you're playing, like it's like you're risking your life. You can sleep in the streets and freeze to death, right? Things like that rarely happened in those Nordic countries because they've got a system where everybody is treated equally. Like it's hard to enter the system, right? But once you're part of that system, it's actually beneficial. So the West usually try to show bad failed examples of socialism while they try to hide the positive ones that actually currently work now. They'll be like, hey, look at Venezuela. They've got so much oil. Only these people like they're enriching the corrupt leaders and stuff, which they have. Most Venezuelans don't enjoy the oil revenue. Venezuela has so much oil. I think it's the third largest oil producer, right? Norway has as much they're in the same range. Norway gives back all the money. Like I think if I'm not wrong, Norway had so much oil revenue last year, right? Like I think it invested how much? I think it invested 50 billion back to the, as in they've got so much money they don't know what to do, right? So but instead of
that's a great place to be.
Yeah. So instead of enriching, like it could be any country. Instead of like Nigeria, like I think Nigeria has more oil than Norway, right? But like, what's the example? What's happening in Nigeria? because like they're in a capitalistic system where like it's how is it? Everybody is for themselves. Everybody wants to like there's no hey, I should do this for the betterment of other people. Everybody's like me, right? You've
Yeah,
got so much, but
unfortunately.
you still and for me that's why I'd always like I said, I'm not saying Africa should be socialist or capitalist. We should find our own balance, right? But for me, that's why I always favor socialism, right? Than than capitalism, because capitalism is like America has like how many, like I think America has like almost like 3 million millionaires. I think it's the country that has the most
Oh,
millionaires. Yeah, and that's like 97% of the wealth in America, right? So the 1% own majority. So if you
yeah.
go like America is about free market, the best, anybody can make it. It's a good marketing slogan, right? And there are some few people who make it, right? But as long
Mm.
as 97% of your population is still living paycheck to paycheck, right? You are an accident away from being financially ruined, right? Most people in America live on a credit system. Like you
Yeah,
borrow
yeah,
more than you borrow more than you make, right? That's. But when it comes to capitalism, they don't show you the day-to-day hard life of normal Americans, right? Or even that's a good coincidence. Yesterday, I was watching a video why America is the worst country in the world to live. I'll share it. This guy was reacting to
okay.
it. He was an American, and it's just like, yep, they've got America has like the best, the worst healthcare of any
Yeah,
of
yeah.
any
That I've heard, yeah.
like not of any country, but of any countries of the same peers, even lower, right? Like I think Angola has a better health system than United States, right? America is the country that treats the workers the worst, right? Like in America, like women don't even get, I think, maternity leave, or they don't get paid for maternity leave,
Yeah,
or
it's
they
like,
don't
yeah,
get paid. Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah.
like there's some things over here that you expect it to be normal. Like maternity leave is normal. Even in Kenya, did they introduce paternity leave, right? I
Yeah,
think
the men get, I think, 2 weeks.
yeah, 2 weeks, right? And it's
Yeah.
paid. But here in America, those are
Yeah.
like magic. Like you're telling people they're like, wow, like those things exist,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
this idea that capitalism is so good in America that people are making it in America, working out in America. It's no, it's just marketing propaganda. Life in America is extremely hard. They just find a way to. Sorry, Hollywood exists. So right, like you can tell,
Yeah.
you can story. But like for me, like more countries are doing way better than America, the most richest country. And being rich doesn't mean everybody's rich. It just means a few are rich, the
Yeah.
rest are just trying to handle. So that's why I'd always favor socialism over capitalism, because at least some there's a safety net for people who are just
Mm.
unfortunate, or you can just have bad
Yeah.
luck. So in some
Yeah.
countries like Denmark, there's a safety net, right? In America, if you get a disease like pneumonia, it can be a death sentence for somebody who's
Mm.
living paycheck by paycheck, right? In Denmark, even if you have no job, at least I can get full healthcare. And their healthcare is like, even in the UK, they usually have good healthcare. The healthcare is as in, if you're a billionaire or just a commoner, like you're treated the same. If the billionaire wants to go to a fancy private hospital, they can, but they can't go there and be like, "Hey, I'm a billionaire. I want to be treated differently." No, they'll be told wait in line as the normal people, and they'll be treated equally. So that's what I love about systems like that. Yeah, but I think like that one we'll have to talk more on it. Like I think we
Yeah,
should
yeah,
mostly have it
definitely.
just
That's something I believe we need to take seriously and research and do more in depth. We need to educate ourselves basically, because it's important. It will determine which way your country will go basically. And right now, at the moment, I think priority wise, we should focus on economic growth. But as we said before, we have to talk about everything at the same time. Even if we can prioritize what should go up first, what is urgent, we can still have a discussion about all these things, because it's going to impact us either way, right? It's the
yeah,
degree
yeah,
that it
definitely.
differentiates. But right now, for us, I believe Africans, economic growth will come first, so that
Yeah.
we at least feed the masses. Everybody gets to eat twice, let's say twice a day, and we'll be happy, and then we can move forward. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to educate myself in more, because I think it's gonna make a huge impact
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
how we
and then,
live, basically.
definitely. And then also like there's also this idea that if you're a rich country, economically sound, you produce enough food. That doesn't necessarily mean that you will feed your people. So a good example: America produces more food than it needs, right? Yet I think is it 10% of Americans sleep hungry, like they're starving, right? Like imagine a country is producing surplus where in some areas they're throwing it like into the garbage. Yet some people
Yeah.
in that country, like would you
Yeah.
rather be in a country where you are hungry because there's not enough food, right? At least you'd be like,
Yeah.
there's not enough food. But
It is what
like,
it is.
how bad is it that you're hungry in a country that's making more than it needs, right? So you see, now that's why things like things like some systems really doesn't work economically successfully in the stock markets. You can have a high GDP, but that doesn't mean your people are safe. You can be struggling like economically, maybe like Rwanda. Like Rwanda is not like among the richest country in the world. Like it's a growing economy, but I'm assuming Rwanda is really trying hard to feed everybody, right? Like government is really trying to make sure people have food, trying to make people plant their own food, right? But a country like America really doesn't care about the small people. It cares about just the 1%, right? That's why somebody like a Jeff Bezos during coronavirus, he got aid money. During they can easily come up with $23 billion to send to Ukraine, but they're still starving people in the United States. Just because you have money, it doesn't mean you necessarily use it to help your people. Yeah. So well, but like I'll send for you that video so you can just be shocked at how things are. Like you'll be like, wow, thank God I'm in Kenya. Because there's some things us here we take for granted, right? Things that like you can just go to the hospital and get get treated for a subsidized cost, right? It's not free. Kenya is not reached there. We have free healthcare, but as in you can go get treated or take a sick day from work and not lose your job, right? There's things in America where if you take a sick day, like you're sick, you can't work. Most of these Amazons, right? Like these Amazon companies, like you lose your job, and when you lose your job, you lose healthcare. When you lose your healthcare in America, it's a death sentence, right? So but I'll share the video so maybe like you can we can talk about it the next in the next chat.
Yeah, and I see someone, the Juma Boutique. Maybe on the next episode we can bring them out here and they can discuss with us, because it sounds like they have a lot to say and also they want to discuss with us. So hopefully, I would love it like if we can have someone like with economics background or experience in what we're talking about. I think they can bring a different insight, a different perspective, and we can think about that, outside of what we could have came up with. So I'm not sure what the Juma's profession is, but yeah.
So the Juma, kindly email us at tunacheki@gmail.tv so we can see how you can be part of the next chat. Yeah, but we always say we're going to invite people to chat.
Yeah, and we don't.
But we never do. So everybody,
Maybe,
like this is an open platform. You can like just email us. Our email is tunacheki@gmail.com, and I will send you a link to join the conversation. Live stream. So
I think we're done.
Yes. So before we leave, please everybody make sure to check out Wanga's channel. She's making really great content. We'll share some of it, and And also make sure to subscribe to our channel, share her channel to friends and families, the same way you did to Nacheki, right? We couldn't have made it to 1 million subscribers if you guys didn't subscribe, then share it to friends and family, because it's the friends and family that got us to 1 million subscribers. Because I always get these emails that who sent me here, who sent me here, even in the chat. This one sent me here, this one sent me here. So do the same to Wongel, and yeah, soon we'll be celebrating. Like, because I'm saying you're almost reaching even 50,000 subscribers, right?
No, I'm not reaching. I'm only
Yeah, like I'm rounding
28.
off. I'm rounding off. I'm rounding off.
Oh.
So like it was 39, right?
Amen. That's what we say.
Yeah, like it was 39.
Almost 30, let's say.
Yeah. Almost 30. No, like 39.
Yeah, 28. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
No,
But you're
okay,
saying you're forecasting. Are you
it's a
forecasting?
random, like rounding off.
I
So,
think you're
yeah, so-
prophesying. Okay, I'm gonna say amen.
like once you pass 25, right? You've
Yeah.
just reached 50. You know, it's
50. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't get the memo. Okay, I'm 50. Yes.
Kemet Gaming is saying I'm a software engineer. I know about technology. Yeah. So like even for the
Perfect.
electric, you should have joined in and given us your thoughts on.
Yes. You know what, Michael? This gives me an idea. Like we can have segments now with Kemite, technology, and then I believe the Juma said what? I heard biomedical engineer. He said email. Michael, by the way, put email for him because he wants to say.
Okay.
So you know, we can have segments and we can have a discussion, open dialogue with our writers, right? Like we can have. So I would love that. That sounds perfect to me because you know we get to educate ourselves as well as our viewers can get a chance to understand what goes on theoretically, practically, and all that. So I think me and you should discuss offline how we can do that and invite people and they can tell us about their expertise and we can discuss more and enlighten ourselves
Definitely.
among our people.
I'm always up to learning new things. Like I think that's the best thing about this age that we live in. You can just go on your phone.
Yeah.
Like just like let me give you, like I know time is going, but let me give you one example, right? So we were just watching YouTube, like a random YouTube channel. Then this video comes up. Why reed salt? Why Kenyan river reed salt is the most expensive salt in the world, right? So we watch the video. There's this salt where they make it. It's such a complicated way in Kenya, right? I think in Luya land, where they cut the grass, they burn the grass, they mix it with some solvent, they evaporate it, they sell it. So technically, that salt is its value in gold, right? Like it's expensive. And chefs around the world say it's the best salt they've ever used, right? They say it tastes like salt, but it tastes like umami. It has a unique taste, and it's like a secret. It's like a secret. Like it's like in the arsenal of the best chefs in the world that they don't know. They don't want people to know they're using the Kenyan red salt because it has such a unique taste that everybody who tastes it must, you know, you go like, what is this that I've eaten? So even in Kenya they use it as for medicinal purposes, right? Yeah, and there's like in the video they were telling us the history of why they developed such a complicated way of making salt, of how things like the changing climate is affecting the production of that salt, making it even way more expensive, right? So like that video was like 5 minutes long. So I was just thinking, 5 minutes back, I didn't know that salt existed, right? Ever. I had never heard about it. I didn't know what it was. 5 minutes in the future, I go like mind blown, like wow, like something like this existed. So then you start thinking, how many things like that don't you know, right? That will just change your perspective of how you see things. Yeah. So that's why I say learning new things is always a plus. I'll also send you the video. You can do. Maybe you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I think it won an award even recently. Like in a culinary award, a fancy one in Cannes, I think. Of like the best salt. Yeah. So I'll share to you those videos. Maybe you can go in depth about it and tell people more about it.
Yes, I will definitely do some research on it. Brian is saying, where can I buy the Kenyan salt? I'll tell you in my video. Stay tuned. I'm kidding. Tell him.
Brian, go to Wanga, she'll do the video. But there's a Kenyan entrepreneur who's trying to make the salt available. So I think in the video, we'll also put that video in the comments. So you can, you guys, you can check it out and also help the Kenyan entrepreneur who's trying to bring salt into the limelight, right? Yeah.
Yes, we should support our own. Thank you, Shoshana.
So
great show.
I'm loving the shows. Keep getting better and better and better. So so encouraging.
Definitely, yes. And thank you so much. You guys are really engaged, and that helps us because it's like a conversation. It's not just us, yapping. So it's good. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the conversation.
So with that said, do you have any announcements?
Me? No, I don't have any announcement. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come here and have a conversation with us. And we love you guys.
So somebody's saying you're ignoring them.
Who? No, I didn't. What did they write?
Yeah.
Why are they ignoring? No, what did they write? I didn't see. I'm so sorry, George.
Yeah, like it's who's controlling the comments. So it's probably...
what's okay? Oh, but you said what's the name of the salt? Didn't I just say that, or did I read something else? Sorry, George. I'm not ignoring you at all. I just didn't see the text.
So the salt is called Kenyan red salt. I think Kenyan red salt. Yeah, but as I said, I'll put the links in the comments below. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys for joining. After this video, go to Ongel's channel immediately. It's a must. It's a choice. Everybody must do that, right?
It's a requirement.
Yes. So with that said, have a lovely day.
Yeah. Thank you so much, all of you. Have a blessed night. See you next week.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.